What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. So this will be my spoiler-free review for the new A24 movie X, directed by T.I. West. Also, he wrote the script for it as well. And this is starring Jenna Ortega, Mia Goth, Brittany Snow, Kid Cudi, Martin Henderson, Owen Campbell, Stephen Uri. And it's basically following a group of actors who set out to make an adult film in rural Texas under the noses of their reclusive host. But when the elderly couple catches their young guest in the act, the cast finds themselves in a desperate fight for their lives. So I just need to start off by saying that this movie is very strong on a technical level. That's what I believe is going to be the thing that a lot of you will come out on the other end agreeing with me about, in terms of just how the certain camera shots that you get. There's this one shot in particular I'm still thinking of, involving I think it was a lake or a river or a pond, one or the other. I'm not good at deciphering those. But it's the way it's an overhead shot with one of the characters, as you see in the trailer, sitting in it or just floating in it. But then it turns into this kind of like homage or ode, if you will, to Jaws. That's what I was getting when I saw it anyway. And then this whole movie is just like a gigantic ode to the 70s, the 80s, and the movies that came out in that time period. It has this ever-present feeling of dread, like the original Texas Chainsaw. And what is so incredible to me is how this captures a Texas Chainsaw vibe better than the recent Texas Chainsaw movie that we got, if I'm being quite honest. It was so strong on a technical level. And T.I. West should be very proud of what he has put together here. It's a very good movie still, very well made. It is suspenseful. It's got a lot of tension building. It does a great job at doing a lot of this setup payoff with lots of great setups with even rewarding, even better payoffs. For instance, the lake scene that I'm talking about. That's a setup. You get the payoff later on in the movie, and it feels so good when it happens. There's a lot that it has to say about sex work, and I just love how that commentary within the movie, and how the characters get to talk about it. It's just thought-provoking. At the same time, it's very timely, of course, with a lot of the stuff that we know we have involving that type of stuff these days. Different platforms and various different accesses people have to them. The performances in this movie are incredible. Jenna Ortega knocks it out of the park once again. She's incredible at playing the helpless victim as always. And Mia Goth, I would have to say, is also someone that I am now going to have my eye on because of what she does here in this film. She is amazing in the role of the character that she portrays. She portrays the character named Maxine. Jenna Ortega plays the character of Lorraine. And Brittany Snow is another person that I need to just kind of go into really quick here. She is just this ever so happy-go-lucky individual in the movie, and she puts a smile on my face every time she was on screen. Her line delivery and the way she's just trying to capture this character, she may feel like she's overacting at times to some people, but she does a great job. It never once becomes cringy or anything. But I will say that there are some aspects of this movie, like the reasoning behind why the elderly couple ultimately start killing, that I can see people saying, oh, that's ridiculous, that's stupid. But what keeps it afloat is, again, those technical strengths. The movie is so good on a technical level, with the direction, the cinematography, the score, the way it plays with your mind and uses certain objects in the background, kind of just always peeking or kind of digging into your intrigue and your curiosity as an audience member watching this movie play out. The characters, I will say, are not necessarily characters that are people I'd say are like well-rounded characters. Some of them are very one-note, but they all serve their purpose. They all have their personalities displayed at times in the film. Mia Goth's character, yes, will be the person that you will probably feel is the most developed by the end of the film. Jenna Ortega's character, I would even go as far to say the elderly couple as well, since they are our killers, as we see in the trailer. They have their reasoning for why they're doing what they're doing, and in my mind, I'm laughing at it. It's very comical, but still, you have a lot of gruesome kills that happen in this film. You have, again, a lot of great setups and payoffs. Very rewarding. There's a lot of tension building, a lot of suspense. The performances, again, are very terrific for the most part overall. I wouldn't say there was a single bad performance. There were some times I was like, well, you could have done better. Kid Cudi, I have to just say, Kid Cudi, another person who I think did a great job in the... And just to talk about the aesthetic really quick. So the aesthetic of this movie, it does such a tremendous job at kind of capturing those late 70s, 80s type of porno-esque stuff that was out there, but also combining that with the slasher movies that you got in those time periods too, like the Friday the 13th, again, the Jasons, all that stuff. It's so... this movie is just... the visual aesthetic of it all just had me kind of just glued in what I was watching. And I have to talk about how the characters and the writing with what T.I. West brings to the table, the way certain things are being paralleled between certain characters and the foreshadowing. And again, there's a lot of setup and payoffs between certain interactions between certain characters that ultimately come back to mean something in the end. I just like how it all tied up together and was all very relevant. There was not anything in the movie that felt disjointed or disconnected from the overall narrative. Everything seemed to serve a purpose. There was a lot of, as you see on your screen, or you're about to see on your screen in a second, I love the nods to The Shining too. A lot of movies seem to be doing that recently, the nods to The Shining. I will never say that's a bad thing, but I do notice that that's something that has just been a staple for cinema for quite some time, honestly, because I just recalled that in Seed of Chucky you have a nod to The Shining at the end of it. So I appreciate the little nod to The Shining that we got with Jenna Ortega's character. And just to speak about Jenna Ortega again, for those of you who are fans of my Scream videos and you watch all of my Scream content, you are going to be amazed by what she brings to the table here. I will just say that you will enjoy her performance. You will enjoy her character. I don't know if you'll necessarily like her, because I do want to say that she's sharing the final girl role this time around. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. I have to give X an 8 out of 10. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe. Turn on post notification and this video. In the description, I have links to my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, if there's any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.